Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the International World Championship of the World Left4 Dead Finals. We have on the infected team, the Purple Panda Platoon against the survivors, whatever our team name is. So let's check in on the action. Ooh, and it looks like that mini horde has sprung for a jockey, hitting Rochelle, driving her in towards the log, but it looks like Coach, being played by good old Dave, has peppered the area with some buckshot and saved the day for his teammate. The tables have turned as good old Dave becomes ensnared by the smoker. Koda tries desperately to fight his way back to his troubled teammate, finally being able to take out that smoker and getting Dave back in the action. Now, despite all those survivors going down, they've managed to get some solid points and taken the lead with 485 to 340. Tom, let's go to you in the box. Let's get some of those stats.
Well, what we've seen thus far is a lot of good play from the main players. You can see that Science is up top with 471 damage to the survivors. The Witch coming in big time for one of the teams, but Crust managing to shut her down.
Sorry, is all talk still on? Have I been harassing both teams equally? Oh my god, I do not believe it! Coming out of the gates of the second chapter, we have a tank, which is giving the survivors a lot of trouble. Good old Dave already going down, fully dead, while Science has been pulled back by that jockey and getting caught in that corner by the tank. We've also got a mini horde, making things difficult for the two remaining survivors on their feet, but it looks like there is spit coming, and we've got an incapacitation on Koda by Cody Exonard. Crust is also trying to outrun that tank, but getting stuck in that corner. Finally, Boy Who Lived playing tank, taking him down, and it looks like the infected are going to get a full wipe with just 25% of the progress being made by that surviving team. Now, this is going to be huge for the Purple Panda Platoon because they know where that tank is going to be, and they can equip themselves with the weapons they need in order to take him down. Good, great, grand. Pressing forward is the survivors. They are going to find that weapons cache, and we're going to see what they pick to try and take down this future tank. It appears that the survivors have mostly grabbed assault rifles. Tom, what do you think of this move?
Well, normally what we see is that when you want to try and take down the tank quickly, you get him in close range and hit him with the shotguns, but because the tank will spawn in a wide open area on this map, I think that the rifles were probably the right call.
Chaos ensues as the tank, played by Koda, drops down, trying to find that rock and hurl it towards the survivors, not getting anyone, but finding Nick over towards his right. And what do we have here? Rochelle trying to get Coach up in the middle of a fight. The spitter dropping some goo, getting Rochelle down into the orange. That's going to allow Koda to cover that ground, get a swipe on, and get her down. Now he turns his attention back towards that rock, trying to get stats, playing Nick down, and he gets some there. Looks like we've got Science coming in as the hunter to try and take him out, while Crust playing jockey is taking down the final remaining survivor. That is going to be it for the surviving team, and we have a pretty even match going forward into the third chapter. Steve, why don't you tell us what you saw there?
All right, well, thanks, Koda. We've seen a lot of intelligent play from both sides here. Unfortunately, just a very difficult place to try and take down a tank. He's got that rock to play with as well as the high ground on both sides, allowing the infected to keep spawning in and keep up that pressure on the surviving team. But 633 to 511, still a very close match indeed.
Moving on to the next chapter, the survivors, which have yet to find themselves a team name, are looking to find which weapons they will be using in the round ahead. Now, because they are going first, they don't have the benefit of knowing when and where they may meet a tank, so they're going to have to pick weapons which can address any scenario possible. We've got Science playing Rochelle with the double pistols, going to grab himself a Scar 16, that's the 3-round burst rifle. We've got Crust over here with the G3 SG1, and Dave with that Spaz 12 on his back, finally Koda with the AK-47, so they've got every single weapon imaginable. That should be able to handle anything that comes their way. The survivors having difficulty against the tank on the bridge. Crust is going to come in and give Koda a revive, but unfortunately he's going to get slapped away by that tank. A valiant effort to try and bring up the teammate, but all Koda can do now is watch in horror as the tank takes down Crust, moving away, but we've got good old Dave trying to rain down fire from above on that tank, who just does not have the vertical leap to get up on that truck and take down our sniper. But we got the hunter who's come in and taken down a good old Dave. Only Science left playing as Rochelle. Tank coming around the corner, but we've got a boomer too who gets a big time vomit on Science and then moves in for a couple extra swipes. Stats exploding as the boomer, bringing in a mini horde, setting up Science to get hit by that tank, and that looks like it's going to be the end for our survivors here. So again, we see that unexpected tank taking down the entire team. Oh god, no. Koda having a hard time freeing his teammate from the smoker, standing on top of the spitter goo. This guy needs to get his head in the game. I tell you what, this guy's putting all his energy into the color commentary department and not helping out his team. You absolutely hate to see that. Seemingly out of nowhere, the Charger comes in and takes down Koda. They don't call this Death Alley for nothing. Right out of the gate, we've got a big boom from Crust. Good old Dave hitting the boy who lived with that charge there. Stats taking down good old Dave, though, finally. And man, does that boomer vomit really stick. Let's go to Michelangelo in the lab to get the analysis on that boomer.
Yeah, alright, what, we talking about the boomer here? Yeah, this bloke's just been eating bagel bites and Mountain Dew his entire life. It just stews up there in his stomach. Finally, it just reaches this high pressure and he has to explode it all over the survivors. It is disgusting. It's gonna sting. It's gonna blind your eyes. It's gonna bring in just a bunch of hordes of zombies that want to get in on the dewy bagel bite goodness.
Moving into where that tank is going to spawn, we've seen the surviving team pick up a defibrillator. Ted, what does this mean for that team? Well, as you know, that actually is one of the most misunderstood pieces of equipment. A lot of people think that defibrillator is for decimating everything in your path with a fiery ball of destruction. It's actually a life-saving piece of equipment. It's going to be able to revive one of your down teammates and bring them back to life. Stats getting hit by good old Dave, who's playing the smoker but is quickly released, and that is good news for the surviving team because they've got 2 players down. Both the boy who lived and you are trying to get back up on their feet. Looks like you is going to get picked up, and now they're going to have to move quickly to see if they can heal up before that tank comes. And right on cue, good old Dave coming in as the tank. Looks like they've got still 2 players who are very low on health. They're going to be walking slowly, and they're going to be easy targets for that tank. We've also got Science and Crust trying to spawn in as the Spitter and the Charger to see if they can cause a little bit. And Science coming in as that Charger, hitting one of the survivors, going to cause absolute pandemonium for these survivors. Good old Dave trying to do the best he can as the tank. Let's see if he can finish him. You delivering that killing blow to the tank, heads back to his 3 down teammates to try and get them back up to full strength. But we've got Science coming in as the jockey to try and end their run, who is going to get killed by Cody X and Nard, which begs the question, could things have been different if Koda actually got off his lazy ass and contributed? Yes, while the foreshadow of it could be potentially quite amusing, what we've seen is a complete inability to get anything done here from Koda, so he's going to have to actually get his head in the game, spawn, and try and do something.